Hello again everybody, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Those of you who are bronze, silver, gold frequent flyers, very warm welcome back to you guys. Thank you as always for supporting the channel and the stream with your memberships as well. And to all of our regular viewers and fellow pilots as well, watching and flying along today, hope you guys enjoy it. It's been a really hectic week, so I have got quite a lot of content to catch up on today, but of course today we're heading into the brand new Auckland International Airport, released a few days ago by Flightbeam Studios, and we're going to start our journey the other side of the Tasman Sea over in Australia, and our departure airport of course being Sydney. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and throughout the stream today, if you're joining us, make sure you do give it a little thumbs up as well too. Alberto, hello to you. Mikhail, hello to you as well. Welcome guys. A little side note as well, every piece of model matching you see today, I've spent 3 days working hard on this. Every bit of model matching you see today, and it won't always be perfect, is part of the AIG Open Public Beta for model matching. Of course it looks a little empty at the moment, but there is a New Zealand over there, which I think is David A. There we are. So all the models that you see today are part of the open beta for the new AIG client for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and keep your eye out too, there will be content coming soon showing you guys how to do this, and I will be releasing my VMR once I've managed to get it all complete. It's taken me 6 hours of downloading, almost 7 hours in fact, of downloading up to this point, and there's still probably another hour's worth left, which I will try and get through after today's live stream. We've also got the brand new experimental version. It's not yet publicly available. The new experimental version of the Heavy Division 787. So loads of new things today. And of course you'll probably see that not much is looking too different in here at the moment. Most of it is very similar except for the FMS. It's completely split away and basically handmade by Komi the developer, which is quite cool. So new text, new fonts, and it's a little, I found a couple of things with it that I'm not too sure about, but actually it looks pretty cool so far. Three hours flight time today across the Tasman Sea. Doink doink doink, 150, wow. Rotator 160, yeesh. Alberto, have I taken a look at the Aerosoft Tools Simple Traffic? I haven't, no. They offered it to me about a week and a half ago, but I haven't responded to them because there's a second page. For the simple reason being that I'm not sure what the values are here. Let's put in 1,500 there. That'll do. I'm sure I'm sure the doctor on board will pop into the live chat and let us know. Leonardo, yeah, this is the newest version of the mod. It's not yet, it's under testing basically at the moment, before it goes out to the development versions instead. There we go. I mean, most of it works the same. Chris, good early morning to you. Jeff as well, good morning to you as well. Zeph, it's the Heavy Division mod for the 787. It's not entirely complete, but it is the best that we've got at the moment. So our departure today, we're planning for runway 16 right, and we've got the Campy 5 RNAV departure, but it looks like it's tracking a VOR of 1121. So down here, 112-1, pop that into VOR left, and I want to switch the ICAS across like so. We'll put weather on, and we want traffic too. Switch that back. Okay, yeah, it is hard, isn't it, to be honest? So let's get the charts. Using Navigraph, of course, as always. There's our departure for today, Campy 5 from runway 16 right. So straight out departure, no turning left because of parallel runway ops. And then we're then heading off to Dunes before turning back out towards the ocean, climbing up to Campy, and away we go. Special requirements. Reaching certain altitudes by certain waypoints, but I'm not sure if any of those are along our route today. What have we got? Banda and Miss It. Yvonne, Veros, Waltz. We're good. So, then you can see here, after departure, it's pretty much a straight out departure as well. Runway 16 right, Campy 5, like so. There we go. So, flying out pretty much straight out towards the Tasman Sea. And then straight across using the airway that's there, Lima 512 airway, all the way through to LUNBI, which is there, entering New Zealand airspace, heading into the new Auckland Airport, before we commit to an ILS approach, looking like runway 105 right into New Zealand's Auckland. Then we can look at those tasty PBR textures and tower interiors. Taxi charts then. We're over here in the international terminal, so short taxi, so push back into the cul-de-sac, and then we're going to head out round Golf and Alpha. We're lining up Alpha 1. Nice long runway for us as well, all good. 3,962 metres, wow. I'll take that, we'll use as much of it as we can. Information Alpha, really good, thanks. Hope you're okay. We're going to plan for a cruise today of 41,000 feet. So we're going to push this right to the top of what we can do. We need 1228 as well, don't we? There's me sitting on the ground thinking it's been quiet for the last hour. So those of you in the live chat, who's got the new Flightbeam Studios New Zealand? And if you have, like I have, the New Zealand Auckland Airport from Flightbeam Studios, then do let us know what you think. I mean, that's pretty much our pre-flight done. Ghost Team, are the Navigraph charts integrated into the game through the bar up top, or is that through their website? So that's the Navigraph app, which I really like to use, but there is also Navigraph charts there in the drop down, as you can see on the stream at the moment. So they have got the integration into the toolbar, which is really cool. June's Campy, Yvonne, and away we go. Departures are in, VNAVs are in. Transition altitude for departure I've not looked at yet. Campy 5, transition altitude 10,000. There she goes. Happy days, I think. David A, runway 16 right for departure, Campy 5, RNAV. Res player, hello to you. Good afternoon, yeah, good morning or good evening based on where you are in the world. Let's get the beacon on. Seatbelt signs are on. These are reversed, so what they should be, but it is what it is. We've got the APU fired up and the gens on anyway, so we can turn them off. External power. And we've still got the bug with the pumps as well, so we're going to have to go through the weird process during pushback, which you guys will see very shortly.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Let's get rid of the spoilers, because they get in the way of the FMC, which is why they've been deployed. There we go. That's going to be our pushback routing there. It's going to be quite interesting. Not quite sure how to push that actually. Ashley, that's really strange. Adam Cooper, hello to you. Good afternoon.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed.
Flight around the Mac loop was fantastic.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
Sydney traffic, New Zealand 752, stand 50, push and start in the cul-de-sac.
Standing by for pushback.
I think we turned the beacon on. I can't see it on the texturing though.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's on.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Metal Maggot. Yep, it's the Heavy Division mod.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Yo, hello. Finished your GA flight, first time in a month. Lots of floating. That doesn't matter with the
800 taxi to runway.
with the
right, holding point golf.
jetty with the PA-28s. I think that's pretty much standard, just to get it floating all the way down. We're going to push back, like Doctor on Board's saying there, probably all the way back to golf because it's too tight there. Looking into that corner there, it's almost impossible. So it's going to be a long push. It's actually going to test the mod quite well. What's that? Doctor on Board. Enter the runway from taxiway golf. Wow. What, with a backtrack and a turn at the end, or something else? And Mark, yes, Jetway Pro, indeed. That's the one. Good spot. Now you can use rudder pedals to control the Ambitious Pilot's toolbar pushback, of course. And Mark Bagnall's asking, is the the Jetway's Jetway Pro? Yes, it is. Good spot again. I will be back in just a second. Also heard the dog getting up to no good, but we're all good. We're all good. Anyway, get that tug speed up again. It's probably going to have to be a pushback all the way up the cul-de-sac. This tug driver is going to hate me. John, just completing the last leg of the South America tour. That's all good.
Sydney traffic, land 800,
So,
line up, runway 16 right.
now we've got the engines as maxed out as possible for this. What we want to do is fire up the engines properly. And that's how you work around the APU bug, basically. Jimex, hi, is this Sydney by Flight Tampa? No, this is the Microsoft Flight Simulator's version, Asobo handcrafted, basically, as they call it. Alberto, you didn't finish your thoughts on why you haven't tried out the Aerosoft tool Simple Traffic. So, all that is basically it's the default Asobo blobs with liveries painted on them, which is great, but personally, I've never been a fan of those. So when there's another option, i.e. AIG or FSLTL, then I'd rather use that. FSLTL is going to be free. I'm not sure if AIG is eventually going to become a payware thing or not. But with the FSLTL models and the AIG model sets, you get traffic injectors. There we go, let's have a little look at some of these Rolls-Royce wing views. There's a load of new wing views in the fly-by-wire A32NX now as well. Leonardo, if I start engines like you did, the APU won't go wrong. It won't go off. Am I connected as an observer? I'll tell you what, that'll be proper. That'll be a cake fine if it is. Let's have a check. There is every chance. Oh, you know what? I am. Wow. I was an observer, you were right.
Yeah, that works fine.
Whoops.
Just a bit of a crosswind, that's all.
William, hello. Just wanted to thank you for your CRJ tutorials. Just getting into that aircraft, and they've been a huge help. That's great to hear. Glad you've enjoyed it. Found that you're all useful. Oh, it's a challenge just trying to push back in a straight line. I haven't been drinking, I promise. Handcrafted by a toddler. Alberto, yeah. So the AIG, all the models that you see today, including an A350 1000. BA. All the liveries you see today are part of the AIG scenery, the beta, public beta, air traffic pack stuff. What I've done is I've configured a VMR file so that it works with VATSIM as we want it, and I've had to tweak quite a bit because there was a few errors within the files where some of the cargo airlines had 4 letters for ICAO codes, which obviously we know is not correct. AIG, great question, Yoap, actually. I am going to be explaining it all properly in another video coming soon. If what is effectively the case with AIG is that it's a traffic injector for AI.
01 crossing runway 0725.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
That'll do, I think.
Parking brake set.
Good to see the drone camera's already on the tilt.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Clear to disconnect.
Always a
Seat
good
left
engine
side.
start.
Have a good flight.
Holding position, waiting for the visual.
Should have probably
Thank
turned
you
those
and
pumps
goodbye.
on. It's getting sidetracked. Those juicy views. Left, right engine auto, wing auto. They're all good. That's all good. Taxi on. Turn the crossfeed off. That's all looking lovely. Let's turn the APU off. Jobs are good in. Part brake off. Flaps to 10. Sets. Where's my taxi charts? Sydney traffic, Air New Zealand 752 heavy taxiing to runway 16 right via Gulf. Oh, Ashley. Ah. Why has it done that? How did you resolve that then, Ashley? Look at that, we've got a United 777 perhaps. There's a New Zealand tail as well, some AIG traffic there. So AIG's beta basically is 2 variants. There's a traffic injector as well that you can download separate to it, and that allows you to fly with live traffic basically.
Hello everyone, the doors
use
are now
live
closed.
traffic.
Any portable electronic devices such as MP3 players, laptops, video cameras must now be switched off. If you have a mobile phone or PDA, activate the flight mode and then turn your device off. If your particular model is not equipped with the flight mode setting, it must be switched off and remain off for the duration of the flight.
Probably a good shout there, Ashley, thank you. Lifesaver. I'd have absolutely not realised that. Auto brake to RTO. Let's see. So here's some more models.
Flight attendants, go to your safety demonstration positions, please. Ladies and gentlemen, shortly we'll show a safety video about this aircraft. You'll also find a safety briefing card in your seat pocket. Please watch the video and read your card so you're familiar with the safety procedures.
Love this livery as well, so good. Reese, not sure about when the FSLTL installer will be available, but this is AIG's public beta that we're using today. Everything you see today is AIG.
Watch this safety demonstration carefully, as it is specific to this aircraft. First, make sure
For a supplier, so in here you can go to heavy, you can go to configuration, and you can change the units from imperial to metric, and they've basically done the equations for us that allow us to use it without.
Ensure it's tight and fits low across your head.
Take off.
You are advised to keep your seatbelt fastened when seated.
Yeah, I've got a discontinuity further down towards
Simply lift the lever.
New Zealand.
Oxygen mask
There's a couple of models there. Look at that, 777.
by pulling it towards you.
Paul, AIG is for live traffic, like offline. You know, when you tick live traffic in the sim and you see real aircraft flying about, they've actually got an injector. But as you can see here, you can get it put into VATSIM with a VMR, as I've done before in the past with other things. Same thing.
Make sure your feet are flat on
So
the
keep
floor.
your eyes out, because I will be basically releasing my VMR files for you
Elbow
guys.
against your thighs. Otherwise, if you can reach the seat in front of you, brace yourself against it.
David, no, not missed the AIG chat at all. We're going to be sort of checking it all out throughout today's stream. I mean, look at that.
Traffic, just 534, established
Put your life jacket on once seated, clip the waistband together and pull it tight.
I'm not quite sure
Only
how to
eject your life
backtrack.
jacket as you exit the aircraft by pulling down on the red tag.
Ghost team, you need to go to alphaindia.net or alpha-india.net, or if you wait till this evening, I know it's difficult to wait for these sort of things, but I will be putting out a video showing you guys how to do it all, basically.
Behind you. Count the rows of seats to the exit. In an emergency evacuation,
Doctor on board.
will help guide you.
You said to enter via Golf, didn't you? Now let me find where,
It's not permitted
as I
at
said
any
about
time anywhere on the aircraft.
Alan Cooper's bought the Iris Grob tutor.
Ensure your phone
Andrew, where's ATC? It's midnight in
and turn off all electronic devices
in
during
Australia,
takeoff
sadly.
and landing. For information on electronics that may be used during the flight, refer to the safety card or
Wow,
check with your
start
crew.
takeoff run from Golf here. Sheesh.
Prepare for takeoff. Ensure your seat back is upright. Make sure your tray table is latched securely. Your footrest, if fitted, is folded away, and your
There's a
seat back
Jetstar
is
on
fastened.
finals.
Thank you for your attention. Enjoy.
Jim, no, in real life at the moment, as Doctor on board's saying, there's a lot of this out of action, so we're going to have to start a departure from Golf. We've still got lots of runway though. QNH 998. There's the end of the safety demonstration for Air New Zealand. And we'll hold at Golf, because I'm pretty...
Sitting traffic, just 359, 7 miles, runway 25.
Lovely, 7 miles. There's another model over there, look. Love that. It can't be all of that out of action.
New Zealand 490 radio check.
Readability 5.
Thanks, sir.
Awesome. So we're going to line up in a second. Oh wow, Ashley's already departed. Whee! Sydney traffic, New Zealand 752 Heavy is lining up runway 16 right from Golf. We'll give away to the Jetstar on finals. Acqua Vitale, it is a A320 over there. I want as much runway.
Sydney traffic, Jetstar 534, 4 miles.
As much runway as possible. There goes the old tiller, lovely. And there's no rush because we've got that Jetstar aircraft on finals as well. Nice wide turn, huge aircraft, remember, so you want to try and turn to get the wheels of the centre line through the main wheels more than anything else, so you do end up coming across quite a lot. We'll hold here because it is very...
New Zealand traffic. Correction, Sydney traffic, New Zealand 490.
157 for departure. Let's get that on the wiggle.
Alpha 1 for 16, right.
Sid, Campy 5, 155 after departure.
New Zealand 490 will follow company traffic on Alpha now.
Here comes the Jetstar. This is also an AIG liveried aircraft. Oh, it's got lights as well. Looks a bit red. It's a bit odd. We'll see what happens. He's probably wondering what on earth we're doing. Hi Mark. Not sure why not IVAO. I don't use IVAO, so it's a bit difficult for me to actually create some stuff for that. Here he comes, Jetstar Generation by the looks of it, for that livery. Oh no, low fares forever. Off he goes, past the nose. Doink. Sydney traffic, Air New Zealand 752 is departing runway 16 right, Campy 5 on av departure, Sydney traffic. Parking brake off, flight director's on because that's going to trigger Toga. Brakes on, lights are all on as well.
And Jetstar 534 vacated, 25.
Set a bit of thrust. Brakes off. And full throttle. Where we go, let's go to Auckland. Somebody mentioned a tailwind for departure. Well, although I'm using quite a bit of left rudder to stay on the centre line, so as if almost there's a crosswind. Nice long runway for us though. Rotate. Whoa, very wiggly. We're up. Positive rate, go up. Arm the auto throttle. Sydney traffic, Air New Zealand 752 heavy, airborne 1500. Nav, VNav. Now it's a right turn to dunes. The aircraft is trying to take us off here a little bit, but actually it's this weird wiggly thing that we're doing at the moment. Go to flaps 1. And then it's a right turn at dunes. Oh, sorry, a left turn at dunes. To then continue on our way out. Effectively, that little gap there, so we've departed, we've then flown right turn to come away from this works here, and we've flown through this little gap, effectively. Then off we go to Campy in a nice straight line. There we go, Campy coming up, then we've got our left turn to EVONN. Quick check of the flight map thing on the top of your screens, and it looks like that's updating, so that's good. And there's the banana.
Keeping traffic at New Zealand 110, taking off 16 right.
And city traffic there, New Zealand 490 will be lining up behind the front traffic 16 right.
Aquavitale, I've not tried FS Realistic yet, no. I'm not quite sure. I've sent off a load of emails actually asking how it works in relation to overriding custom sounds from other add-ons like the A32NX, but I've not heard back from them yet with any answers to any queries that I've got. Mark, is AIG a basic install or a pain in the rear? Probably the latter, to be honest, but I'm working on a tutorial to break it down to basically be as simple as possible, because yeah, as you've asked there, it is a pain in the backside, big time. There we go, Australia out behind us. Let's get the old drone cam on a slower rotation, because I do like slow tilt. There we go, look at that.
City traffic, New Zealand 5563, stand 55, push, back and south.
Hey, it's Philip joining us, fantastic. Probably slow down the turn even more. Dollar Dog, enjoy your 3.5 hours across the ocean. I go to bed now as it's midnight in Sydney. Hope you enjoy the route. If you do choose to watch it back another time. It'll take me about an hour to get the tilt sorted out, I think. There we go. Love the 787. Look how good that looks. Showing you guys the optimum rotation. 8.3, 4.8 I think is usually the figure we set, and that gives us a good rotation all the way around the aircraft, I think. I know it's different depending on zoom levels and things, so if you can come out really far like this. Philip, yeah, that's good going. That is an admirable challenge for you. It's midnight already for you, isn't it, in Australia by the sounds of it. Yep, still prefers the 747. It's a little bit further behind though, isn't it? So I do love this because of how good the Heavy Division mod is. And this is the experimental branch at the moment for testers within Heavy Division that we're checking out today too. Those of you who saw the stream the other week where we flew into Auckland, it's been updated since, of course, with the release of it by Flightbeam Studios. So there's lots of new things that we didn't actually see last time, which we're really looking forward to having a look at. Let's go to standard. Can't go to standard because it does that. So I think it's in system, AFIS display, standard. There we go. And then this one we'll just have to turn over up to 1213. There goes the woofer. Oh, Ashley, is that the case? That is good. Nice strong tailwind, 133 knots, wow. Oh yeah, the 747, absolutely iconic. Dan's loving the CRJ 900 and 1000. They've released a hotfix already for a couple of bugs, wow. Nice to see they're being proactive with it too. I've not tried the CRJ 700 yet, sorry, the 900 and 1000. I know it's very similar to the CRJ 700, which we're going to be flying on Sunday. We're going to be doing a real life route IBEX/ANA Connect. We're going to go Sendai to Hiroshima and back again with some fantastic scenery. Both freeware, both sides as well, which is going to be really cool. And then next week we're going to be throwing ourselves into the CRJ 900 1000 expansion as well, because I've been really looking forward to that. Probably with some Air Nostrum hops in the CRJ 1000 as well. We'll go super stretch because why not? Should have probably turned those off, whoopsie. And the belts. Shouldn't be long until the PMTG 737 gets released. I'd like to think too. Yeah. How are you getting on in that Sukhoi Superjet thing? I've never been a fan. Don't forget to smash the like button while you're here. That tailwind's pushing up, look, 70 knots. Building ever so slowly, like Ashley was mentioning. We can get rid of that VOR now as well. Dan, yeah, that's going to be really exciting. The Just Flight BAE 146. Could be some good fun in on VATSIM with some London City steep approaches. Alex, yeah, if you've not got Premium Deluxe, then you won't have the Asobo 787, and you need that in order for this Heavy Division mod to work, because it updates the default files basically and uses the Asobo 787 model for all of its modifications, similar to what Fly-by-Wire did this time last year effectively. If you don't have Premium Deluxe, personally I don't recommend you actually purchase the upgrade. As frustrating as it might be not having the Dreamliner, of course, though, which I totally understand, because it is really nice with this mod, but the price that Microsoft are charging just so that you can get a 787 is pretty much the same price almost as premium version buying it from scratch. So you might as well, my advice would be to just wait for a long hauler payware aircraft to come out, like the PMDG 777. Yeah, Yoep, I hope so. That's going to be wonderful. And then, of course, they're working on their PMDG 777 pack after the 737. And on their roadmap, they've got the 747 as well. Alberto, wow, 7 months. Thanks for 7 months of fun, learning and entertainment. You're very welcome. I'm glad you've been on board with us and enjoying it. John, yeah, it's a bit of a headache, isn't it, to be honest? David A's asking what Mach we're going to fly at. Probably, I'm just leaving it on whatever it's set for the Dreamliner. It's usually around 80 to 82, isn't it, I think. What are we at here? 7.6 for the climb. We go on to cruise. It's just blank. I think it's going to be around, somewhere around Mach decimal 80, to be honest. Let's get rid of that discontinuity at LUNBI, because I've already put the arrival route in. This, the actual arrival path. There's the second one. Creeping up everywhere, aren't they? There we go. Well, there's 2 discontinuities in the star. Peter's just behind in the Dreamliner. Hello to you. Reese, that would be great, wouldn't it? But they would have to make a 757 as well. Walker, hello. Is there a 737-800 coming soon? There's a PMDG 737 coming up. I think it is the 800 variant, but I'm not. Can't remember off the top of my head entirely. I'm sure somebody else will know exactly. Do let us know. It's going to be worth the wait, probably about £80 or so roughly, so very expensive, but if you want high level fidelity and really accurate systems simulated in the sim, then you'll definitely want to purchase that. Anthony, can't wait for the Quality Wing 787. Neither can I, but we've been waiting a long time, haven't we? Yoep, didn't know this was a thing, but attention everybody, I'll now be going around asking for payments for using your seats for over an hour. Thank you for flying around air. Thanks for being with us for 3 months as well, Yoep. Oh, Alex, that's a good question. I haven't, but it'll be interesting to see if anybody else in the live chat has. So is anybody using NVIDIA experience filters to improve MSFS, the filters to be exact? If you do, let us know in the live chat, and why and how, I guess. for those like myself that aren't the techiest of people. I'd love a 757-200. This Air New Zealand livery, by the way, is painted by Dave Cherry on flightsim.to. It's a vectored one like the new 747 liveries. So really nice, crisp livery, and it's a reduced file size too, which is good for our hard drives, good for boot times as well. And actually, when I've booted AIG into the sim, today for the first time I've booted up with everything that I've installed through the last 2 or 3 days, or 3 days in fact, from AIG's installer. And I've noticed no increase in boot times. Yeah, I've just left it on default, Dan. The only thing that I would be interested to see is if they get rid of, if there is a way to get rid of this weird camera effect where you look out and then you come out. It's complete. I mean, look at that outside now. It's completely washed out. Till I do that. The only thing I find annoying with the sim, because your eye isn't a camera. Your eye can contrast between the two at the same time. We are struggling to climb here. 30,000 feet, 118 knot tailwind. Woohoo! Strap in. Be that heavy. 602 knot ground speed. Wow. That's awesome. Anthony, I've not noticed any noticeable difference with the AIG models actually when I'm feeding them into VATSIM with my VMR that I've made for it today. It'll be interesting to see what happens at something big like a VATSIM event though. Really put it to its test, see if it impacts performance. Eric, hello. You've installed AIG, but you've got a problem with your sim just freezing when you're going to start a flight. Not sure about that, to be honest, because I've not experienced that, and I haven't read anywhere that could be happening. But do check the AIG forums; might be a good place to start for that one. Unless anybody else in the chat's had a similar experience. It may well be actually that you've done one thing in the installer that's not quite correct for Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. So I've had a couple of tips. I've put a load of tips into a video that I'm working on, which I'm hoping to put in place for you guys by this evening, if not tomorrow, to show you exactly how to use their installer and how the installation of it all works for those of us with Microsoft Flight Simulator that want to give it a go. Ashley's raring ahead, 625 ground speed. Oh, look at that, we're 617 now, 126 knot tailwind. Well, I'd probably call that 110 knot tailwind, 115 knots. Cythera, hello, welcome to you. Really well, thanks. I hope you're doing well as well. How do you install AIG? With lots of patience, quite a lot of time, and if you're old enough, maybe a drink to keep you sane as well throughout the entire process. It is lengthy, I'll be honest with you. I'm working on a little tutorial that could be done within a nice amount of time, so it's not like a 20-30 minute video for you guys. I'm trying to keep a tutorial as condensed as possible for the AIG thing, and then you'll be able to see how we can tweak it then for VATSIM use. And or use it for the offline live traffic too. Jose, hello. Can't import a Simbury flight plan with the Heavy Division mod since Sim Update 6. Can't even put in an origin airport. So I'm guessing by the sounds of it you haven't updated it. Is that would I be correct in saying that? So there a strong juice then, or drink of choice. it's taken me, for what I've installed today, for all the main airlines, for me working into adding in a VMR for everybody to just download. I'll put it on flightsim.to when it's complete. It's taken me almost 7 hours, and I think I've still probably got 1 to 2 hours worth left to download as well. Maybe plus 30 minutes to an hour of tinkering with the VMR to get it working nice and set up correctly. Jose, the latest Boeing 787X version, or the heavy, is it the XE that you're using, or is it the Heavy Division mod? XE hasn't worked for quite a long time. The Heavy Division mod, there's a stable version which has been cancelled, doesn't work anymore at all, and there's a development branch. If you've not got the development branch, let me know, I'll get you the link. If you guys want to try this one out, the experimental version with the custom FMS, let me know, I'll get the link to that, I'll put that in the live chat as well. Happy to do that too. GT, yes, it's custom FMS basically. Peter, good to see. Etty Gaming smashed it, managed to get it all working, good to hear. And Ayo, good morning to you over in Brazil, very warm welcome to you, hope you're well. Anthony's still got 150 airlines to download, and probably 12, 13 aircraft and 46 liveries within each. Azul Airways, for example, that has taken, I think that was something like 67 liveries, just for like an A321, A320, A322, A319, 2021 family of aircraft, which is an insane amount really when you think about it. So the link I'm going to give you is the experimental branch in the live chat. It is an experiment, so if it doesn't work, then the advice as always is delete it and then go refer back to the development version of the mod. There you go, it's in the live chat now. Paul Lee, with AIG do you have to download all the flight plans? Yes and no. The answer, I guess, the main answer is yes, effectively. I will demonstrate everything in a video. Hopefully I can get sorted later on tonight. If not, it'll be tomorrow. Quite likely tomorrow, actually, to be honest. But we're seeing it in action today on departure from Sydney, hopefully on arrival into Auckland as well. There you go, Etty Gaming, there you go. 1,218 different liveries. Erdl, welcome on board. Anthony, it's fantastic, yeah, especially for those of you who don't use VATSIM, because then you can feed traffic in and see everything in a bit more real time rather than an hour delay. And you can see the aircraft correctly too, which is really nice. Peter's using the development mod, the development version of the Heavy Division mod. I'll put the link to that one in the live chat too. So this is the latest Heavy Division . There you go, that's the second link. That's the development branch. Yeah, actually, exactly. When I was going through the VMR today and I saw there must have been about 40 or so just for the A320 and Azul alone, I was scratching my head wondering why on earth I needed so many. Just 5 would be more than enough. Oh wow, yeah. 2 flight plans. And were they manual install ones as well? Because you get some that pop up, don't you, saying manual install required, and then you've got to go through a manual process of downloading packages, feeding the zip into the installer and all that sort of stuff. They could make it a lot simpler, couldn't they? That's all I'm saying. but it is the best that we've got at the moment. We're still waiting for FSLTL, of course, as well, to release their freeware package. I was pushing them a few weeks ago to try and get them to release it sooner, and knowing that AIG were doing the same, but they didn't, sadly. Still in the climb. Rather laboured climb. We're approaching a quarter of the way there. 26 gigabytes. That's not too bad, to be honest. I think I've downloaded about 700 different flight plans currently as it stands. Well over the Tasman Sea now. "26 gig. To be honest, that's better than I thought. 378 unique aircraft. Wow. Madness, isn't it? The other thing, of course, as well, is it relies on everybody using VATSIM to be logging in the correct call signs. So similar to the model matching issues from before, they've got to be correct. They've got to be configured properly too. 633 knot ground speed now. Actually, there is, but it is that would add probably another day trying to go through every single one, because you'd have to install each one individually, each airline individually, unticking and deselecting the ones you don't want, basically. So, in short, you've got to download all of it. What I've done in the VMR, though, is I've disabled quite a lot of them that I don't want. So I've left Azul A320s, the 40 or so liveries, however many there are. I've only selected 5 of those to be used for model matching. Anthony's, it's taken him a good 3 days for the AIG stuff. Yeah, that's the biggest drawback with it, the clunkiness of the download process. Telegram, hello. Created a VMR file from AIG's files as well. Insane traffic at Frankfurt, Heathrow and Warsaw. Yeah, it does look to be the best way of mod matching at the moment too. Simon, hello to you. Prox FPV, somebody just mentioned above actually, I think was it 26 gigabytes for the size of the file size? Yeah, 26 gigabytes is the file size. Yeah, and as Anthony's saying there, you can't trigger the download process and download all of them, and then we're almost at cruise now. Look, fantastic! Finally got there. 41,000 feet. Mach decimal 86 almost. Yeah, you can't walk away from it, because when you do, about half an hour later, one of the manual installers will ping up an error, and you've got to go through the manual process of downloading it and adding the package through. You can't skip it, effectively. So you've got to be with or near your computer to be able to check on it every 10, 20, 30 minutes, just to make sure it's not hung itself up on a manual install one. Yeah, and Prox, I've not noticed any issues with performance either in the PC yet. For those of you wondering today too, it is a real world route that we're doing today, although it's the particular aircraft, including the registration of the one that we've got on the livery, is on a 787-9. So that being the only difference there. And you also need the AI controller software. Yeah, so you need two things really. For those of you who don't fly on VATSIM, you also need the traffic manager, which pushes, it basically injects the live traffic through its own servers into the sim. So you can disable live traffic inside the sim itself, basically. Alberto, I just fired them into, is it flightconnections.com? And Flight Radar 24 as well. Stin, do you think the competitor will be easier to install? So FSLTL, for those of you who watch regularly, that's the model matching that I tend to use, and it's a closed, in development, work in progress beta at the moment. That is just one big zip file that you extract and put into your community folder or your add-on linker folders, wherever that might be. That's just easy because it's download, extract, click and drag, job done. This requires more steps for the AIG stuff. Once you understand what you need to do though, like Etty Gaming is saying there, it's not too complex, so that's always good to hear. I've found it frustrating myself because there's not been enough hours in the day, juggling work and everything else. I've found that I'd maybe start downloading a couple of liveries across an hour or 2 hours in an evening, and I'll have to turn the PC off, go to sleep, go to work, come back, add a few more. So I've spent the last 3 days feeling like all I'm doing is downloading AIG stuff. But if it works, it'll be worth it. And at the moment it's free. Does anybody know if AIG are going to be looking to charge for it in the future? I heard a little while ago that it might be a payware, final product might be a payware product, but I'm not sure. I get the feeling it'll be freeware though. Full lead time frame for FSLTL, not sure to be honest. I was hoping it'd be in place and actually actioned and open to public beta of some sort by now, but they're still keeping it fairly closed ranks. I hope they release something soon just so we can compare the two and have the option between the two, because I think that'd be quite good for us as Microsoft Flight Simulator users. GT, yeah, basically that's the risk, isn't it? That's why about a couple of weeks ago I was trying to push FSLTL to put something out, just get a package ready as a beta and just put it out. But they never, they haven't, so it's a bit of a shame. The AIG have got the head start at the moment. Oh, look at that ground speed, 610 knots and a big old tailwind. Show you guys Volanta. So we've not checked that out today. There we go. So we've departed Sydney. There was our departure routing as well. So straight out, runway heading onto Botany Bay, then the right turn round Canal, following that standard instrument departure, or turning left and heading to YVONN. Then we're on that airway all the way. Like so. When we get to LUNBI, we're going to be well into our descent into Auckland there, and it's pretty much a straight-in approach, which is going to be quite nice. Estimate top descent is there according to Volanta. It's not always accurate, to be honest. We'll find out. John, yeah, you should be able to actually mix and match, so you should be able to get both FSLTL and AIG, and have them both together in the sim. If you want ultimate model matching, that would be the ultimate package, wouldn't it? Both combined. That should be everything you ever need for model matching. On Navigraph, we're just about to hit the waypoint Waltz. We clear that, so we are pretty much a quarter of the way there. But we know currently we've got the Aradi 7 Bravo arrival programmed in for Auckland via LUNBI, which is just down here on the screen there, not to scale of course. And we're going to be heading in east all the way, LUNBI, Aradi, Java, all the way across to Lengu, which is down here, max 210 knots, at or above 3,000. There's the routing explained for the Aradi 7 Bravo arrival there too. Cross Java at or above 10,000, max 280 knots there. AA 514 at or above 7,000, and Zoka at or above 5,000, a max of 240 knots, and so on and so forth. And it includes Category D aircraft. We're big and heavy, we're Category D aircraft today. And there's the arrival transition level, flight level 150. So flying that nice straight eastbound track into Lengu on the arrival, we're then going to configure for the ILS DME05 right approach. So we're going to fly into Lengu. There's a hold there if it's busy, but I doubt it's going to be. So we're going to be going straight in Lengu, Bucharest, and then the glide slope in for the arrival onto 05 right. And our missed approach data, which we'll brief when we get a lot closer to, because we'll look at all of this when we get a bit closer to the airfield. We can do a few little bits now though, like the transition level, flight level 150. There you go, Etty Gaming. That's the record to be beaten then. Frontier Airlines with the AIG pack is 105 unique liveries. Wow. Alex, yeah, I've got a tutorial in progress actually. It's just taken quite a long time to get sorted out. But there will be one coming either tonight or tomorrow. Interestingly, I've got no arrival BNAV thing there. Init ref, approach. Not there either. Nay bother. And of course, in a little while, we'll have to make sure we've got everything tuned into preselects. Don't know what they are. That's a new thing. Actually look like they work now. Not the best with Boeing. Hello QEd, hello to you. I'm really well, thanks. Sounds like you're having a bit of a stressful time at the moment. Your 2080 Ti GPU's malfunctioned. You're waiting for the manufacturer to fix it. Been 3 months, wow. Hopefully it gets fixed soon. Chris Salton, Avgeek, I love AIG. The airports are really alive now. Took a long time to set up, but well worth the wait. That's it, and that's it, isn't it? The end game is well worth the 3, 4, 5, 6 days it takes for you to download everything you need. Christopher, that is the that's the aim. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. As you're saying there, it's the ideal approach for it, isn't it? Fingers crossed. Gaming FSLTL is still in development, yes. They were well ahead of AIG. There was some big old political issues between the two, which ended up closing FLAI down, of course, as a lot of you know. But AIG have managed to get their product out there beforehand, so who knows. The race is still on though. AIG though have just entered an open beta, whereas FSLTL are in a closed beta or closed alpha, can't remember which. Big Benno, loving the channel, good to hear, welcome on board. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to smash the like button, guys. 55 likes at the moment. If you've got any questions about the Heavy Division mod, Flightbeam Studios, Auckland Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or anything else, then make sure you ask today. And of course, check the pin message as well. We've pinned our merchandise today. You can see our baseball caps and all the other cool stuff that we've got. It's one of the many ways to support the stream. AIG has been very resource intensive with MSFS live online traffic causing stuttering on my PC in busy areas. Not sure if it runs smoother with the scheduled traffic. So Joel, in your instance, what I would probably recommend, to give it a go anyway at least, would be to turn live traffic off and then use the AIG's traffic manager instead. So it's a secondary program that you run, but it injects the traffic into the sim. So you might find that the performance might be better for using that way. But you also might find that your performance is better having it the way you've got it set up at the moment. So give it a good go. Momo, hello to you. Peter, you seem to be slowing down. Any ideas? Slowing down in what sense? And Joshua, hello to you, welcome on board. Sunday stream is going to be awesome back in the CRJ. We're going to be going from Sendai Airport, the north, just north of Tokyo actually, by about an hour or 45 minutes or so. We're going to be flying down Honshu, down to Hiroshima. We've got freeware scenery for both of those airports. We've got the Ibex livery for the CRJ2, and then we're going to head back to Sendai as well. And Hiroshima, one of the approaches to that can be exceptionally dangerous depending on the weather, so we're ironically hoping for really bad weather on Sunday. Christopher, yeah, I don't understand how the ATC networks don't understand how important model matching is. They base their entire ground side ATC on it, and you're correct, like you're saying there, they say things like follow the company Airbus and all that sort of thing, but if they're default aircraft, then you can't see which is the company Airbus. Peter, throttle's wide open, 240 knots max. Have you got auto throttle on? Basically, you want your front panel to look like that. But whatever cruise you're supposed to be at as well. Toe McNinja, hello. Just in a flight from Sydney to the Gold Coast in the A32NX. Fantastic. Joshua, no worries at all. Hello to you as well, Toad Ninja. Welcome on board for today's flight to Auckland. .707 liner, hello. Did load a flight plan for this via SimBrief? Yes, I did actually. Tried to fly via Fiumicino to Zurich earlier. Couldn't get the flight plan to load. Did you check the actual heavy options? So you go click heavy, click configuration. You can see there it says SimBrief field. But if you click into that, it will ask for your SimBrief username or your pilot ID. So you could give that a go, just to make sure you've not lost that data, you know, in any way, shape or form. Actually, he's already halfway. Wow, at Legan. We are flying along like rocket ships today. Actually, this 100 or so knot tailwinds blasting us along. Mobo wants to see the flight deck. There you go. How's that looking for you? Pretty realistic, right? Drop the heads-up displays as well. So Ninja, I would probably recommend just waiting. Even if it never comes out, you might find the PMDG 777 would be worthy of the money, and it would be near enough the same price almost as upgrading to Premium Deluxe just for the freeware Asobo 787-2. Chris Scott, hello to you. .707 liner. Usually I use the development branch, but today I'm using a special experimental version which hasn't been released yet because I'm basically a part of their sort of testing thing. So we're trying that out today, which is why the FMC looks entirely redesigned. Imtiaz, welcome on board. Peter, picking up to 268 knots. Check inside VNav to see what it says for Econ Cruise. See if there's a value in there. Imtiaz, it sure is. The wings on the Dreamliner, fun fact, not sure if all of them are part of this, but they're created in Japan, the wings are, and then they're shipped to the States. I think on board a Dreamlifter. Tasman Sea down below as well as we make our way across to New Zealand. 41,000 feet. But as you can see there, the actual pressure altitude is 42,312 feet. Basically, it's a lot longer than 787-8, significantly longer in fact. Wonderful livery, isn't it, 707 liner. I wish they flew into Heathrow still. We only had the one, and it did the Heathrow to LAX, LAX to Auckland route, but COVID ended that sadly. A very, very long journey though, sadly. I guess it wasn't too popular. Anthony, does the Asobo 787 still turn like a brick? Or has the Heavy Division made it easy to taxi? So the Heavy Division mod hasn't made it easier, but Asobo have improved it, and to be honest, I don't have many problems taxiing it. If I get a bit stuck sometimes, I might use a bit of differential braking on my rudder pedals, but you learn to sort of taxi it just right so that you can turn as you need to. It's a lot better than it used to be, that's for sure. Legan coming up. Jason, how are we going 600 knots? Because we've got a 107, 108 knot tailwind. pushing us along at the moment, which is fantastic. So we are blasting along. True airspeed 493, but our ground speed's basically 600 knots. So it's probably shaved about 30 minutes off our flight time.
You are.
Momo, thanks for your super chat. You're going to have to expand on that though in the live chat. I am what? Thanks for supporting the stream with your tip, really generous of you. Streamlabs link as well, folks, is the best way to support the channel. Channel merchandise at the moment as well. Speaking of that, we have got a Christmas sort of sale going on at the moment to beat the cut-off dates for delivery, and if you put in the code Osprey Xmas, you'll get 10% off the orders for the higher value items. So do check out everything we've got to offer in the merchandise store. The smaller items like stickers and things, the 10% won't work with those, sadly. Keith, perhaps it's an idea for a one of those motivational posters. We could do it with some channel merchandise. Have I flown into Pyongyang yet? No, I haven't, sadly. You're not the first that's asked, though, I've got to say. Imtiaz, what's the maximum cruising speed of the 787? So at this altitude, Mach 85 is pretty much sort of the speed that it quite happily flies along at, to be honest. But you can see the maximum speed, absolute maximum, is 300 knots, which would be wow, at this altitude, the speed of sound. Mach 1.0, but I don't think it would fly that fast, ever, if at all. Basically it's about 561 miles an hour, 600 miles per hour tops. William, hello, how are you? Hope you're okay. I think this is the highest we've ever flown in the sim as well, to my knowledge. 41,000. Can it go up to 430? Not sure. There you are, here you go, what's this? Got some statistics. (43,000 feet is the cruise ceiling, and the maximum operating speed is Mach 0.90. or 515 knots at 35,000 feet. Fuselage length of a 787-10 is 68.3 metres, or 224 feet long, and the 787-8 is only 56.7 metres, or 186 feet. So that's a huge difference. Air New Zealand were the launch airline for the Boeing 787-9 variant, and the first aircraft was delivered on the 10th of July 2014. The average list price for a Boeing 787-10 is $306 million. But naturally, airlines would probably never pay that much because of all the deals to be done and everything like that. Am I looking forward to the Milvis ATR? Absolutely, yeah. Really looking forward to that sort of thing, actually. It would be quite enjoyable to blast around the Greek islands. William's jolly good. Good to hear. 787. I think you'd be heading for Coffin Corner if you try 300 knots. I think you're right. Yeah, the Dreamliner's not designed to break through the sound barrier, is it? Let's face it. Mach decimal 90 would be more than enough. Adam, have I bought the Iris Gob Tutor? No, I haven't actually. I've flown in it in real life quite a few times. Great fun. I haven't bought it for MSFS though. Not sure how often I would use it, to be honest. I love the Just Flight PA-28s. They're fantastic. I would love to have the Grob Vigilant as well, the 109B motor glider. That's what I was an instructor on for a few years. Loved that. So if there was a rendition of that in Microsoft Flight Simulator, that would be fantastic. I'd have to go digging around the attic to try and find my checklists from yesteryear. David's got the Tutor. You enjoy it as well quite a bit, from what I understand. Adam's loving the Grob Tutor as well. Reliving your AEF days. Fantastic. Joshua's back as well. Hello again. Now, Ashley was referring to top of descent not necessarily being accurate in the mod today. LUNBI at flight level 410, that's probably why. Interestingly, it doesn't have... I don't have a top descent marker at all. Got our arrival selected anyway. That's what it would look like if you wanted to replicate the route that we're doing today. So the Aradi 7B arrival onto the ILS 05. You're going to transition via LUNBI onto the Star, and then we're going to transition from the Star at Lengu onto the ILS. And only 600 nautical miles to go. Well, interestingly though, LUNBI is 200 nautical miles from Auckland, so perhaps that could be around about right. Yeah, actually, because Legan in 34 nautical miles, we got LUNBI in 370 nautical miles. Alex is back. Alex, thank you very much for your super chat. Here we go.
I'm back.
You know what? I wish I could put that voice into like an Arnie thing sometimes. Joshua's flying at the moment Doha to Amsterdam. Nice. Perhaps that is correct then. LUNBI. 370 to go, and then at Aradi 134. We know from the charts we want to be at Jabba at or above 10,000, which is there on the constraint. The one thing I've not got in the experimental branch at the moment is top descent marker, because I can't see it here. Unless... Frederic, hello to you. Thank you very much for joining the channel. Welcome on board. Actually, Ashley mentioned it's right in here somewhere, isn't it? So, LUNBI is probably going to be our top of descent. DC Mole, hello to you. Momo's asking how to install the Boeing 787-10 Heavy Division mod. So, do you have Microsoft Flight Simulator Premium Deluxe? Because if you do, you'll then be able to download the Heavy Division mod. And then you just extract it, click and play. Extract it, click and drag into your community folder. Jeff, when am I flying the CRJ 900 and 1000? It was going to be Sunday, but then I realised that we don't have an IBEX livery yet for the 900. So we're going to stick with the 700 for Sunday. And then next week, the next load of streams, I'm going to smash out a load of CRJ fun as well. We'll do a 900 stream, we'll do a 1000 stream as well. Make the most of it, check it out in detail. Cytheris wide awake. .707 liner, no problem at all. Good night to you. Thanks for joining along for the first half of today. DC Mole, yeah, so there's an experimental version that's in progress at the moment, and it's including a reconfigured, redrawn FMS, basically. And we've not encountered anything, touchwood, so far. Adam, when were you at Cosford by any chance? Yeah, when did you fly out of AEF? Or even 633, BGS, that's where I flew. Oh, so it is next to the initial approach fix, Ashley. Good to know. Yeah, so I think LUNBI is probably going to be our top of descent, roughly. Frederic's asking, what is the best model matching for Microsoft Flight Simulator so far? So I'm going to be putting out a video showing you how to download and install the AIG stuff that's been released for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Either tonight, tomorrow, likely tomorrow through the day at some point. That will show you basically the best way that you can currently have model matching in the sim at the moment. Oh, Adam, 631 at Woodvale, nice. Yeah, so I got to category C, CCAT. Didn't get anywhere beyond that though. Loved it though, it was fantastic. Sorry to hear though, you failed your medical at Cosford, not flown since, that's not good. Enjoyed a little bit of Silverstone as well. Good to hear. Oh, Ashley, there you go, thanks. LUNBI might be a little too early. It's 200 miles from the threshold, wow, okay. Glad you've done the maths. Alex, with the new model matching coming up, I assume you're referring to AIG's beta. There will be no need for model matching magic then. That will still be needed because they might update, tweak packages within AIG every now and again. You'll then have to run model matching magic through a second time, third time, and so on. Blindsight, totally agree with you there. The guys over at Heavy Division are doing a really incredible job. Jeff, did I get the Thrustmaster Boeing yoke yet? No, I haven't actually. They emailed me a little while ago, and I responded to it. And then it was about 4 days ago, I got a response saying, if we've not replied within a month, you've been unsuccessful. So I think I'll have to wait to purchase it like everybody else, but then it's quite a lot of money, isn't it? So would I spend that much? I'm not sure, if I'm honest. Pablo, thank you very much. EC Mole, AIG is out now. It's open with a public beta at the moment. So it's taken me 3 days to install, or across 3 days to install, about 6 or so, almost 7 hours of download time. And this morning, I've been fiddling around with the VMR to see if I can get it working into VATSIM quite nicely. So far, everything I've downloaded is working well, so once I've got it stable and nice, I'll release my VMR across onto flightsim.to for everybody to just download. It'll be easier for everybody then. What would you like? Throw out a recipe. Link to AIG. Stand by. In the live chat now for you, DC Mole. Yeah, it's a shame the Vigilants have been grounded, really. I did love that Vigilant. Such a great aeroplane to sort of learn to fly in. And it's a shame money's sort of obstructed the Air Cadets quite a way, in such a way now that there doesn't seem to be much flying anymore in the Air Cadets compared to what it used to be like when we were going through the process ourselves. It's a theory. The general consensus seems to be that it's quite expensive for what it is. To be honest, I was quite surprised at the price. I know it's all metal, and I've not physically seen it, touched it, or anything like that, so I'm not sure what it is like. But I don't know if I'd pay. How much is it in total for both? If you wanted both, it's about £600-700, isn't it? That is 3 to 4 flying lessons for real flying. That shows you how expensive it is. I want cheap pilot license, go to Russell's. Russell's or Brussels? Yeah, Adam, I know you've got to buy, you have to purchase the yoke separate to the throttle, don't you? Jeff, 500 USD, is that for in total for both? So in that instance, we're looking at £350, £400 based on exchange rates, however they might fluctuate. Oh, we certainly do have a Discord server, yes. If you... just above? No, that's the merchandise link. That's the Streamlabs tips link. The next one. If you stroll up a little bit through the live chat, the third Nightbot thing that you can see, it says find us on Discord. Let's pop outside again, shall we? Some juicy livery views. Theory is saying it's expensive for what it is. The internal construction is metal. You can get the entire honeycomb package for a bit less, and you can see the difference in quality and feel of them. Wow. There you go, that's the decision made then. Joshua wants a chicken sandwich. Pre-orders are sold out already. Wow, for the Thrustmaster stuff. Sheesh. There's a lot of people with a lot of money. Do love this livery. Cracking work. Dave Cherry makes a lot of the 747 liveries as well. Let's see. We're going too close. love that tail as well. Look at the texturing work on that. Minus the contrails, of course. Adam, at altitude they seem to be a little bit pixelated, but earlier on it looked okay, so I'm not really sure what they're doing. Joshua, could be an Air New Zealand ad. Yes, it could be, couldn't it? Zacho scalpers, they're going to be out there, aren't they? Guaranteed. Real shame, actually, that we have to deal with people like that too. Oh, there's some contrails. Who's catching us up there? Wow, catching us right up. Is that Peter? Peter's up my jack seat. That rather ominous in the background, coming in for the intercept. Alex loving the aircraft. Joshua, if only Air New Zealand would pay me to make their adverts for them, I would have some great fun. A lot of travelling though if I had to actually go to New Zealand to do it. What would be good is if we saw a load of scalpers put a load of stuff on eBay, because you guarantee the Thrustmaster Boeing packs are going to be on eBay for £700-800 plus. It would be great if nobody purchased them at all, and they ended up with about 5 or 6 yokes and throttles they couldn't sell, and they'd spent a couple of grand on it. Because that's the only way that these people will learn. That we'd very quickly get rid of scalpers if people did that. Chris, I'm not sure why the contrails are posting upwards, so I was just wondering that myself. I'm not sure if it's something to do with the tailwind that's confusing the sim, or... yeah, they are posting upwards, aren't they? Bogey under 6. Evasive tactics. Zacho, no worries. It's working really well so far actually, and for the bits that I've tinkered with and played around with to get it working for VATSIM with the VMR, it seems to be working quite nicely. Stubbs, no, this is all live weather, default MSFS stuff. Look at those clouds over there, look fantastic coming up in front. Good old window views as always as well. Adam's looking forward to a good A350, so am I. One of my favourite aircraft actually. I'd love a 1000 variant though. Absolutely would like one of those. Roland, good afternoon. Got his 787 up and running last night, great to hear. Hope you're well too, I'm really good myself. Busy few days of course. 6 hours, 7 hours of downloading AIG across 3 days between work. Joshua, it certainly is, yes. Absolutely. Stunty, how'd you get the aircraft? It's the standard Microsoft Flight Simulators Premium Deluxe 787. But it's also got the Heavy Division mod put onto it. Adam, it is scary, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be a BA livery for me, of course, with the A350. Yeah, Zacho, I completely agree. There's a new cloud system coming in, actually, seems to be working quite well. I guess it's the Sim's way of saying if the clouds are beyond a certain distance, they will pixelate them just to keep performance good, I guess, maybe. Coming up with something off the top of my head as a potential reason. These ones that are coming in closer up to us, though, are really smooth. pop to the outside view. You can see what's behind us is a little pixelated, down below as well. But if we then work around the aircraft, the new weather system that we're flying into at the moment, as we cross the Tasman Sea, it's like candy floss. That's some high level cloud coming towards us as well. Adam Cooper, I'm going to disappoint you there then. Typhoon, gotta be. Mind you, I do like the F-35 as well. I do like the F-14, it's got to be said, but everybody loves the F-14, so I try to find other thing. I miss the Jaguar, good old dirty Cold War jet. There is a freeware A350 in progress, Alex, by Digital Flight Dynamics. Probably going to take quite a long time to do though, but they are working on it. Dan, hi. The new CRJ 900 is great, but can't figure out how to set the wing views like in the CRJ 700. It should be the same process. Yeah, these new clouds look really good. Dan, have you checked the 1000 to see if the 1000 shares the same configuration file? If not, it might just be in a slightly different location. Ooh, Tornadoes, Jay. Yeah, how could I forget those? The FGR4s. Adrian, good to hear. Glad you're enjoying it. Keep smashing that like button, folks. See if we can get beyond 100 by the time we hit top of descent. That would be awesome. If you've not yet done so already as well, smash that subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content going live over the next few weeks or indeed into the future, including some progress updates for AIG's beta, along with some tutorials on how to get it working for VATSIM. Yeah, I mean, these clouds are looking good now. And then down below, pixelated. Area would be awesome, Roland. We just need some Osprey liveries next for the CRJ 900 and 1000 to expand on those. Actually, that's is that Dan behind us? Dan, yeah, Dan's right on us. Where is he? He's definitely here somewhere. Then we've got to find him. Flight gear. I've heard of it. Do you want to be a centre controller, or do you just want to control on airports, Adrian? That's a great question. I would quite like to be a centre controller, if I ever had the chance to do so, but I don't have the time for the training. Dan's still right off in the background there. I'd quite like to do tower. I think that'd be a really good one. I'd love to do tower. But the process is so long. Oh, just default weather. MSFS live weather and the default weather system as well. Don't really... I used to use Unreal Weather, of course, and I still have that as a backup. Alex is just a longer aircraft. I think the engines are slightly more uprated as well, and it also has a VNAV button as well. So it can actually fly descents a little bit for you too. Jeff, yeah, no, it's the default drone camera. You've just all you do is you slow the drone camera panning down instead. Nashim, it's hit and miss for me. I find sometimes they're really pixelated, like the lower sections of cloud down below. Let's pick some out. So a higher level of cloud that's nearer to us I think looks really good. But below that layer, the textures and the layers further away from us get very pixelated, and I think it's a performance issue. But if I scroll out, you don't notice it, and that looks fantastic. Mikael, I'm putting something together. It won't be a short though, because it is there's quite a bit to it. Yeah, that's the other pros for Cythera is mentioning there. The 900 1000 CRJ variants, longer, fly further, and then can contain more people. A lot of more airlines have the CRJ 900 variant as well, so for those of you who like to do the real world routes, things like that, have maybe some more options available to you, then the 900 is the one that you want. If you've not got any of the Aerosoft CRJs, you can also grab a total bundle package, so you can buy all four at the same time and download it all via the Aerosoft One installer, which is quite a cool system actually that they've put in place. Miko, you downloaded the AI manager, but I'm guessing your mind's blown with how complex it is. You should do Doha to Dubai. That would be quite a cool one actually. Depends on the aircraft though that you guys would want me to use. What I will be doing as well over the next few weeks, we'll be doing an Air Nostrum in the 1000 CRJ. Good old, something like Madrid to Almeria and back again. Some real ops, or pre-COVID real ops perhaps. It's lovely, good morning to you. How are you doing? 163 to go to LUNBI. Yeah, you can do, Steen, you can enable the VNAV option inside the EFB and the CRJ. So those of you with the CRJ, you've got an EFB that's here. You can click into it and enable the VNAV button. What it will then do is it will put on the FCP a little VNAV button around about this sort of location here. But the real aircraft doesn't have any of that. And I never use it when I actually fly the CRJ 700 either. Cythera's going to be saving for FS Realistic. I have heard it's quite good actually, but I've not tried it. Christopher, wow. Sim Update 7 looks like it's going to be nice. No more stupid logbook and some DirectX 12 features. Awesome. That does sound good. Won't be long until we get the Navigraph community survey coming back again. Jeff's asking, can the CRJ do RMP approaches? So I think it can do the RNAV approaches that don't have vertical guidance. In summary. Correct C, hello. Was my VMR so far for ARG done with model matching magic? And is the VMR you have so far available anywhere yet? It's not yet available. I had to do I did use model matching magic actually, yes, to build it primarily. Through that actually, I was able to see that there were quite a few configuration issues with the VMR that was going to be generated. ICAO codes being incorrect, a lot of aircraft type codes missing as well, so I've had to manually put all of those in. And there's still a lot of the Chinese airlines left to do too before I can sort of release anything, but it will go on to flightsim.to when it's finished, or when it's almost finished at least, so people can at least just download it and give it a go without having to set anything up themselves. Really hope we're getting RTX reflections just to not have that ugly thing where the pillars of the cockpit make a hole in the reflections. Yeah, DirectX 12 is going to be really exciting actually. Ashley, you're right. I recall Matthew saying it can only do LNAV only type RNAV RMPs. Yeah, full RMP can't be done in the real CRJ. I remember a lot of it can't be done properly. Anything LNAV related, it's fine with. But if it's a VNAV related RNAV, it can't do it. I think just to summarise it in a simpler way, I think from memory. Elaine, hello. Dan, yeah, see, VATSIM will never make model matching for MSFS, sadly. But they rely on everybody else to do it for them, in effect. And then put their name on it. What's frustrating is they know, of course, that those of us on VATSIM need it, effectively. Need it, want it, either of the both, or either of the two or both. To have that added immersion and the extra realism. So it's a shame they're not as proactive as they could be with it. And VATSIM have got a lot of talented people behind it as well, so I'm sure they could put something together. Hey, Lively, thank you very much. Thanks for your super chat. It'll bing bong in a second. DC Mole, no helicopters in the AIG stuff from what I've noticed. Great shout actually, I'd not really thought about that, but I definitely haven't noticed any. Wait for the old pop-up from Zlively there, or get to the external drone camera for it too. Christopher, so did I. It's just a formal partnership.
Keep up the good work.
Slively Vids, thank you very much for your super chat there, really kind of you. Thanks for supporting the stream. Dan, you know what? That's the third time somebody said that in the live chat today, and I agree. Line up behind the company traffic, or follow the company traffic to Whole Point Golf 2 or whatever else, and you're looking around going, well, I can't see the company traffic, unless you've got some sort of model matching in place. DC Mono, that was FSLTL that we used for EGBB the other day, and sadly it randomly just didn't work. FSLTL stuff, a lot of it failed on me. So there, fantastic. It keeps you awake while you're downloading the AIG stuff anyway. Ground speed's dropped off to 570 now, so we've lost the 110 knot tailwind. Land O'Lakes, hello. Hope you're okay. We're getting a bit closer now, so we can think about putting in arrival stuff. We know that with Navigraph, there you go. We're going to come in via LUNBI, which is the end of the Oceanic FIR, so Auckland Oceanic FIR, and then we're going into New Zealand's main FIR instead, which is what this little boundary line thing is here. So at LUNBI, we're then coming in to Aradi, descending down to Java at or above 10,000, AA at or above 514, Zoka at or above 5,000, AA at or above 4,000, then Lengu at or above 3,000, and we're going to aim for Lengu at 3,000, I think, throughout all of this. That's going to be my overarching aim. Whether we can achieve that or not, I'm not sure. Then from Lengu, flying in straight in approach into 05 right, as the weather's changed drastically. We're going to tune the Auckland VOR 114.8 AA, and we've got to make sure we've got into the Navrav page, ILS DME. Should be able to see both on your screens now if I do some magic here. Look at that. Like I've done that before. We'll do ILS frequency 110.3. Where's the cursor gone? Oh, that had me worried. 110.3, and the VOR 114.8. 114.8 goes. We're going to put a course in anyway of 051, even though it's not a VOR approach that we're doing, but I'm just putting it in there as a little reminder for me, effectively flying this approach. And then at the very bottom of the screen here, we've got the DA, DH, basically our minimums. We're a category D aircraft today, so if there were multiple values, we'd be looking at the lower section here. So where it says full, you've got C and D. If there were two values here, we'd be looking at the lower of the two for runway visual range and visibility. DA, 215. So we're going to put that into our minimums at the top. And you can see there we've got a 3-degree glide slope too. So up here we can put in Barrow, .215. So we've got 220 or 210, and that's all we can see. So round up, I'll select 220 for minimums. Nice and easy. It's just going to be a standard ILS approach in as well. Didn't yet, we're currently flying on VATSIM indeed, yes. Chris Shuttleworth, hello to you. It would help if MSFS displayed the VATSIM call sign. Yeah, I think it does in X-Plane, doesn't it, I believe? Am I right in saying that? But yeah, it would be quite good, wouldn't it? Lauren, hello. Weather display looking a bit gnarly. It certainly is, isn't it? Down below could be a bit blustery and could get interesting. Let's see what the weather is doing in Auckland at the moment. So the latest METAR shows winds of 030 at 7 knots, all the 9s, broken cloud of an unknown type of 1,500 feet, 18 degrees Celsius, the temperature. Oh, okay, and the dew point is also plus 18 degrees Celsius. QNH 1005, temporarily 6,000 meters visibility and light showers and rain. Showers and rain broken at 1,200. So the weather that we had the other week when we flew into Auckland, and those of you who saw that, you'd remember there was fog and all sorts of other stuff. it looks like we're going to get the same again, potentially. So it'll be interesting to see how it's changed between the pre-release preview version we had and the latest version which has been released. What's wonderful about this scenery too is when you download it via Contrail, you can go to the options for the Flightbeam Studios Auckland scenery and you can turn statics off. So for those of you who don't like statics, you can turn that off too. For the purpose of today, I've left the static aircraft on, just to give Auckland a bit of life and show it off as best as possible to you guys, because it is a beautiful piece of payware scenery for the sim. So Thera, wow, you've never flown into New Zealand in MSFS. Some of the best scenery and some beautiful approaches can be found in New Zealand, so I really recommend giving it a go. Adam Cooper, yeah, it's about 3 and a bit hours usually. We've had a huge tailwind all the way though, so it's cut the flight time down to about 3 hours, I think. Potentially even sort of two and a half. Yeah, I'd call it about 3 hours. I think it will be on the ground. David, yes, make note. Check your wheels are down. Yeah, that was the last. That was that stream as well, wasn't it? Brilliant. NZAA simulations as well, really good scenery developer for Microsoft Flight Simulator. They've been creating some wonderful scenery like Raglan, which is freeware. They've also created some payware scenery as well. I think they're creating Christchurch. Payware Christchurch. That is going to be exceptionally cool. Especially when the ATR comes, we'll be able to do hops around New Zealand, in and out of Christchurch. There's a Wellington payware scenery coming soon as well to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So again, the perfect mixture there, and we've got this stunning Auckland scenery from Flightbeam Studios too, and Innie Scenes Queenstown. So there's lots going on, incredible scenery, and of course, not to forget, we've got the Orbex New Zealand mesh as well that's available to purchase. Kev, hello. What traffic settings in the sim do you use for AIG? If it's for VATSIM, I'll just leave everything turned off as usual. If it's for live traffic, I've not tinkered with it yet because I'm still downloading a lot of the files, but from what I've seen, leave everything off and you can just inject the traffic in using their traffic injector. Lauren, any plans for Cross the Ditch in a few weeks? Sadly, I think I'm working for that, which is why I've not been able to book any slots. Alberto Santiago to Easter Island. You know what, actually, Aviation Simulation asked the same thing a little while ago, so yeah, sure, why not? The TAM 787 Dreamliner hop to Easter Island. Might as well schedule that for the next couple of weeks. Fuel's looking plentiful still. We're going to land with loads actually, it's giving us tons of fuel. But then I think our diversion was Christchurch. Doing that weird little turn at LUNBI like it likes to do, little wiggle wiggle. Actually, I might be able to do cross the ditch on the Sunday, on the 5th. Well, that's Wellington though to YBCG. How long is that flight time? I don't understand how the operational plan works. Coloured bars indicate which wave is departing at a given time. Pilots should ensure they fly the wave route that is active at the time of departure in order to ensure there will be ATC coverage throughout their flight. Oh, so it's in the collars there. I get it. So the only one I would be able to do. Oh, actually I can't do that. That's annoying. The last departure's at 9:30 AM. Last departure 9:45. That's disappointing. I read it as that potentially I'll be able to depart at 12 UTC. Believe, yeah, a beautiful airport as well, and fantastic, like you're saying there, a wonderful approach. To Thera, wow. You do a Qatar flight from Mykonos on the A320neo. They used to have that as a route. Fantastic. Did not know that. But yeah, sure. We'll add that onto the list. Let me top up my bathroom. Where is it? Content list. There you go, I've added those to my little list inside the Discord server, little hidden thing that I've got to keep track of everything. Bashar, hello to you, very warm welcome. Nice long flight. About 3 or so hours, but we are close to the top of descent, to be honest. NZAA 165. Actually, we are pretty close. We're going to be starting our descent any second. Aradi was at above 10,000, so let's aim for 12. We're at 41,000 feet, of course. Joshua, let's make the landing butter. Let's hope. When are we starting the virtual red arrows with a Just Flight Hawk? There is actually a there is a virtual red arrows being formed by I think is it Total Aviation and HH Aviation, two lads on YouTube who will actually be doing a charity stream coming up, I think, for children in need next weekend, I believe, or the weekend after, which is quite cool. Mark, welcome on board. Thanks for joining us today. And Neil M over in the Heathrow Ops room. Hello to you. Dan in Ops. Welcome, I hope you're well, having a good week. Those of you just tuning in, there's all the cloud down below. And we're about to start our descent in the Heavy Division 787-10 Dreamliner. It's fantastic Air New Zealand livery. That's a screenshot right there. Click. Akeem, welcome, always worth the watch, glad to hear. Let's get that nose down, shall we, folks? Click. You can see now with the engine, if I flick the displays, oh, I've changed. We don't want Mach 5. There we go. You can see there the engine's spooled down, and as it gets to a point where the aeroplane knows it's not going to accelerate when the nose goes down, it then allows the aircraft to pitch forwards. Michael, hello. Any chance I've had any chance to play with the CRJ 900 and 1000 yet? Not yet, sadly. Not yet. Hoping I will get the chance at some point soon. I'm going to hold that at 3 2,800. Where's my little descent calculator thing? Descent.vercel.app. 40,000, 12,000, doing 270, end at 270. Got an 87 knot plus tailwind pushing us along. It's telling us we need 97 nautical miles at 1,800 foot per minute. So if I change that calculation to 2,800, it's telling us we need 69. And we're 72 miles to go there, so we could probably come off that a little bit. 74, there we go, that's probably about right, 2,600 foot per minute. Down we go. Joshua, I have seen the All Blacks livery. It is really nice actually, but the livery that we're using, the All Blacks one, hasn't been updated since Sim Update 5, so I've had to fiddle around with it a little bit and basically find the best working one. This one that we're looking at today is made by Dave Cherry on flightsim.to, and it's a beautiful bit of decal work that he's put into this livery. So I can highly recommend this one. Jay's on his way down to Singapore. Very nice. What aircraft are you flying? Philip's loving the Orbex mesh for New Zealand. Yeah, if you fly around New Zealand a lot, it's an absolute must purchase. What I forgot, I'm kicking myself today, I forgot to download the Orbex Auckland City Landscapes pack, which is really annoying because I made a note of it a few days ago and I completely forgot. I need a bit of floodlighting here. We're about to bust through this big old layer of cloud. Let's put them on just in case. And we've got wing, engine, Y7 on auto. Lovely jubbly. There's a Raddy coming up. Cool. Now we're going to have to increase the rate of descent. I want the banana to be at a Raddy. So interesting to see where this goes. I'm going to do speed conversion to 300 knots. We're fighting a 68 knot tailwind as we try to descend. The wind is pushing us further, closer and closer to Auckland as we're descending. So as we get a bit closer towards Raddy, we might need to do a little bit of tactical speed brake. Raddy 7 Bravo arrival, so to be fair actually Jabba at or above 10,000 is the target, so that is bang on there. I'm happy with that. AA 514 at or above 7,000, and as long as we're at or above Lengu 3,000 feet, max 210 knots, we're happy. Zoka was at or above 5,000 and restricted to 240 knots, and Jabba is 280. I think we put, is it data? Yes, there you go. Data gives you constraints. And as we get a bit closer as well, I might throw in a bit of terrain mapping as well. I believe I've never been to New Zealand or Australia actually for that matter, and I would absolutely love to visit. Look at those clouds, texturing's fantastic. We're going to bust through these. Let's go to the wing view because I love to see the engine bounce. there's any turbulence. It might be smooth, like flying through custard. Look at the textures of the clouds though. Look at that. That's the stuff that makes this sim remarkably good. The clouds look so realistic. If we go to, is it that one? Even this one actually, there's actual window view. Clouds getting darker as well, so interesting. Well, here comes the turbulence, Joshua. Yep, potentially. I think we've got some wing views over this side as well. Is it 5? There we go. Oh shit, hello to you. No add-ons for clouds whatsoever. This is just default Microsoft Flight Simulator live weather. We are thick into the cloud now. Not the smashed potatoes and explain. Zeph, it's just default weather, live weather. Look at that. It is murky, isn't it? Actually, Jabba is looking bang on the money for us here. Go back to flight level change. I think we'll just let it manage itself. See what it does. Decorub, hello to you. Welcome on board. We might, if we get a chance, we might be able to continue this descent all the way to Lengu. Lengu's there, and we want to be at 3,000 feet for Lengu, and at 210 knots. Oh, the plane add-on, Zeph. It is the Heavy Division mod. The Asobo 787-10. There you go. 19,000 feet. Oh, look at that. How fantastic. Wow. That tunnel of cloud. This little pocket that we found ourselves within. Look at this. Excuse the weird fisheye, but wow. That is remarkable. You know, I never thought I'd see the sim continue to surprise me like it does, but that is just incredible. The channel of cloud that goes off down there. You could fly through that. Zeph, yeah, it's fantastic for VATSIM. In fact, I used it on Cross the Pond for those of you who didn't catch me doing that. Peter, indeed, we're blasting in. We've got the approach set up as well. We know what we're doing and how we're doing it, and it's just a nice straight-in approach, effectively. Alex, it is, isn't it? Looks like we just flew into the eye of a hurricane. I've just put those screenshots onto Volanta as well, so they're there for all to see after the stream. Probably turn some of these displays down ever so slightly. Maybe even get away with just leaving the... Yeah, let's leave the floodlights off. Turn the screen brightness down a little bit. Feel like we're about to bust through another pocket. Right, Jabba's coming up in 8, so 280 knots it is. What runway, Peter? Runway 05 right.
Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for landing, please make sure all electronic devices are now switched off, your seatbelts are securely fastened, and your seat bags and tray tables are in the upright locked positions. If you've had any carrying luggage out during the flight, now is the time to make sure it is securely stowed either well underneath the seat in front of you or on the overhead lockers above. Once again, if you are in one of our exit rows today, please make sure all carrying luggage is stowed in the overhead lockers only. Once again, if you do have any questions or you need any assistance, feel free to ask the cabin crew. They'll be more than happy to help you. Cabin crew, prepare cabin for arrival, please.
Thank God it's not Queenstown, indeed. Although we've flown into Queenstown with the weather this bad before in the past, I don't think I'd like to do it again though. Although when aircraft get more advanced, we could probably get away with that, couldn't we? Down to 7,000, let's continue. Down to... yeah, let's go to 7. Click. Lengu's coming up in 35 miles. We're going to start to slow down now to about 250. Yeah, 255, why not? Good old flight level change. Jacob, is the 787 worth the buy? If you've not got Premium Deluxe already, then I don't recommend it, to be totally honest. Flight level 150 was the transition, wasn't it? So we should be on local QNH 1005 now. I think so. Sys. Standard. Come off, Sys. 1015. No, hold on. 1005. Good, we're lower than we are. That's low pressure. Do the standby instruments. 1005, they're both set and correct, and the VOR's tracking now as well, which is good. 46.2 miles. .45. Light the clouds up in front, there we go, and get some wing lights on too. There she is, through the fog. See our landing lights and our wing lights as well. Now there's every chance this is all we're going to see until minimums, which we have set with 220 knots for that. Zoka at or above 5,000. Wow, so let's go down to 3 now for the Lengu. Click. And we're going to use auto brake 1. Yeah, if it's just for the 787, I don't recommend you actually pay to upgrade. It's not really worth it. We'll enable traffic and terrain. Jacob, hello to you. Joshua, how do you get the flight attendant stuff? You just go to flightsim.to and you search all one word, Luke Airtool. It's really good. Let that banana stabilise. I'm hoping it's going to be near Lengu. Approach, ILS DME, Lengu at 3,000. Beautiful. Though we are possibly on track, though we need to obviously also facilitate for deceleration. Auckland traffic, Air New Zealand 752 heavy, Boeing 787-10 inbound 30 miles from the ILS, runway 05 right, will report when established Auckland traffic. Right, overhead, lights are all on, icing's all on as required, and internal lighting is as we need it as well. Happy days. Approach speeds, we need to go into here, init ref, approach, and we're going to do flap 25 approach, giving us 144 knots, so we'll go 149 for approach speed. And we can turn this down by, is it that one? Lower display contrast, here we go. Lovely. You can turn the brightness of this screen down as you wish to. Okay, we're going to go down to 180 knots now, I think. We're going to need a bit of speed brake to assist us along the way. Let's go to half, and down we go. We'll do 190 knots. Flaps 5, 195, hold there. Shouting at us, because we're going to go to flaps 10 in a second. Flaps 10 now. And we can slowly bring these speed brakes back down again. Ashley, thank you. I hope it's going to be a safe landing. Arm the speed brakes. We might need speed brake again in a second. Picking up the lateral guidance for the ILS. Got to get down to the vertical guidance, and here comes the rain as well, splashing off the windscreen. Very soon we're going to go to a sterile cockpit and get rid of the music. Zero 5 on for quarters, let's get that set. Okay, going to be achieving 3000 almost by Lengi. Go to 180. Just waiting for it to pick up the glide slope.
Wind 5051, heavy taking off, runway 05 right.
Flaps 15.
Thank you.
Krishnan, so yeah, good question. To set standard and back, you click sys, and you click to AFIS or EFIS / display, and then you literally, on the right hand side there, you hit standard. There. And then when you're coming out of it, you click standard again, and it will turn off green and go grey again. Felipe, it's the Heavy Division 787 mod. Flaps 17. Go to 1200 foot per minute, shall we, for the rate of descent here? Or 1000 foot per minute. We'll try and keep this a continuous descent all the way in. You're just tuning in, a very warm welcome to you. We're about to establish on the ILS actually. Is that the approach button? Yeah. We're about to establish on the ILS for Auckland International Airport Microsoft Flight Simulator. And we've got the new Flightbeam Studios payware scenery with it as well. Released very recently for the sim. Coming up to level at 3000. There's an aircraft just departed up ahead. TCAS arrow for us. That better stabilise soon. 34 knot. Wowzers. That is
2500.
Pretty poop. Right, let's go to 149, shall we? Oh, look at that. That is dangerously choppy. Missed approach wise, track on 051 to MRAG, mandatory 3000 feet and hold, basically. Back on the rudder pedals without knocking it too much. There we go, glide slope. God, what is it doing? It is not liking this weather at all, is it?
2500.
20. And we've got one more set of flaps to go through.
2500.
I'm going to put the gear down early, I think. Because I want the drag. So I can slow her down, hopefully stabilise it for that last bit of final approach. 149. Up to 25 has been requested. Go. 40 knot crosswind. We've gone for flap 25 config for today, Joshua, so we're not using full flaps, we're using a different sort of type of performance for the approach. This is nasty. 36 knot crosswind. That can't be true. Angel, Jesus, we're in proper pea soup. Air New Zealand. Get rid of terrain, because I can't see a darn thing with that bright light. 10 miles, let's get that to 5. Auckland traffic, Air New Zealand 752 is short finals, runway 05 ILS. Auckland traffic. Come on, girls, let's go. Here we go. Real weather 020 at 9. Interesting. Yeah, the ATIS said it was a lot less. I mean, this is worrying. We're going right down to we're 800 feet now. See some water just down below. I can see the water there, right by the windows, which is a bit weird. Take over the throttle. So I've got it. It can actually do auto land. I think it's got a version of auto land fixed to it.
400.
Here we go. I can see the land.
300.
And there's the runway. Still got that bit of a crosswind, although that's dropped down to 10 knots now, so final adjustment. Minimums.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Touchdown. Reverse. Nine knot crosswind in the end. So actually, the live weather seemed to be bang on. We've missed Alpha 7, of course we have, because that's that was quite optimistic. We're going to try for Alpha 5. Here we go. It's another wet and windy day. Just like last time when we flew in here. Auckland traffic, Air New Zealand 752 heavies vacated at Alpha 5, taxi to the international terminal. Traffic. So right on Alpha, sorry, left on Alpha. Let's come off here.
And Auckland traffic, Air New Zealand 110 final runway 05 right.
Speed brakes have retracted themselves. It's a rather foggy looking New Zealand. Let's switch it across to Unreal Weather, live METARs. Oh, that's a lot nicer, isn't it? Landing lights off. Strobes off. Wing off. Fire up BAPU. So here's the new Auckland scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Taking a nice wide turn on Alpha 5. We've got some FSLTL, sorry, not FSLTL. Using them for so long now, I keep referring to it. Got some new AIG models there as well. Let's try and do that tiller. Got it locked into hard left. Oh, hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the
There's
seatbelt
another
has come to a complete
AIG
stop
model.
and the seatbelt sign has been switched off. When preparing to disembark, please remember to take all personal belongings with you, and please take care while opening those overhead lockers. If your cell phone or other electronic device is now removed, let me know. Finally, on behalf of the onboard team, would like to thank you for flying with Air New Zealand on the Star Alliance network. It has been a pleasure having you on board. Take care, have a great day, and thank you for flying with us.
She's heavy. Keep stopping. Cythera. Yeah, I do indeed. It's really good actually, like you're saying there. Come on. There's another model over there, look. A Qatar A350. Awesome. Acqua Vitale, thank you very much. Hope you're okay. Ashley's at parking gate number 8. I think that's you there, isn't it? Okay, so I've just missed the turn. From Alpha, then Kilo. Now that's going to be you there because you're a LATAM, and I remember I didn't have any LATAM downloaded from AIG, so it threw the model matching out. Jacob, yes, I will be having one go live very soon. Stand International A. Which should be that one. Oh, look how fantastic this is, though. For a bit of scenery. We're going to 10. Taxi, runway, turn-offs off. Pick that back. We want the system status. APU's on 0 still. That's annoying. Try and fire it up again. Nope, still on 0. I know why. It's got that really annoying bug attached to it. Custom jetways, I think. Certainly look like custom jetways. Bar brake on. If I kill the left engine and the left tanks, maybe centre, I think it then comes on. Go. Yep, there you go. Kev, your traffic in AIG is not moving. Have you got the latest versions attached to it? Insert here. APU's now on 100. We know we've got the gens on, so let's kill the second engine. Oops, good in. Every time. Beacon light off, seatbelt signs off. Let's go. We could also call external power people. Neil, yeah, I'm working on one at the moment actually. Power, catering, jetway, catering, baggage. If I click it one time to spawn them in place, and then to click them again to trigger them. Now, of course, you guys want to know what my landing rate was, so we'll have a look at Atlanta in a second. Look at that, wonderful. Is that somebody that's just flown in with us, or is that static? Trying to work out where that other pilot went. Oh, there he is. Happy days. So the new release version of this Flightbeam Studios has got all the PBR texturing that you can see down here, all on the concrete. It looks stunning. And also, if I go to, thinking of ATC, but I meant to click drone camera, fat fingers, if I zip along to the ATC tower, that has now got, wow, too much drone speed. That's now got an interior as well, which is quite cool. I wish these drone cameras were there we are. And a little picture of Microsoft Flight Simulator, because that's what controllers do when they when they control. They wish they were pilots. I love the clutter actually in the control tower. I love this little bit of clutter that's thrown around, because that's not usually put in place. But there we go. Look at that. And there we all are down in the terminal area. International terminal down the bottom. All parked up, looking really cool. Now, we explored this in great depth when we were last here. The PBR texturing and everything like that has been updated, of course, which is why you can see even better textures these days. Josh was asking to go to cargo. Philip's asking for the link to the Heavy Division mod, of course. Bear with me both. Here's the external, by the way. It's really cool. Beautiful bit of scenery. Look at that.
Auckland traffic, and New Zealand South 3, is it Mangu inbound, iOS.
Here he comes. Last pilot, I believe, is it? There's the ATRs, and some of the construction areas and the hangaring, etc. The statics are wonderful at this airport, and we go all the way off into the distance. Look at that for a bit of scenery, folks. Capture Philip as he's about to touch down. Once we've looked at the cargo area, there's the airport emergency services section, along with Air New Zealand engineering in the background, and here we go with the fantastic cargo centre. DHL. And we've got some of these general older versions. Hangars are down the very far end of Auckland's airport here, as you can see. That's a wicked little static model. I kind of wish that you could turn some statics off by choice, so you could clear a couple of stands as you wish, but then leave some of them like the DHL statics in place, and these over in engineering, because it's such a complex bit of scenery. I mean, look how good that is. As a zoomed out package, that looks like a photograph. Let's go and watch David's landing. Michael, hello. It's not freeware. No, this is payware airport scenery made by Flightbeam Studios. So nice. Didn't know those hotkeys in place. Touchdown zone's just about there. Should get some nice pictures here. going to have a quick look on Atlanta. 12th today, isn't it? So make sure the final few screenshots get added in. You guys want to see my landing rate? Of course you do. So we'll do that once we've seen Philip land. Captain Paul D, you are indeed, yes. Not entirely too late though. Got Philip inbound. And he is in another AIG model, I believe. Philip, I'm not sure actually. At the moment it's freeware. I think they'll probably keep it freeware as well. Yeah, Philip is the AIG Air New Zealand A320-200. So, where's he going? Doing a little fly past for us. Either that, or we're about to film another episode of Air Crash Investigation. There you go, A320-200 with sharklets as well. Oh, now look at that. Sporty, Philip. God, he nailed that. How did you reposition like that? That's fantastic. Just showing off to you guys watching. There you go, another AIG model. Complete with reverse animations as well by the looks of it. Fantastic. And a little Wi-Fi dome at the top. As he vacates, traditionally in sporty fashion, let's head to Atlanta. There was our route for today across the ditch, or aka the Tasman Sea. A couple of screenshots throughout. And of course you want to see the statistics. Landing rate of 310 feet per minute and 1.16 G on the runway there. Touchdown wind 8 degrees at 9 knots, which was exceptionally different to what we had about 10 seconds prior to that. Really good. We're all the way over here. That's one of the statics included as well, and of course don't forget you've got all of the background added in too. Let's see, off in the distance the warehouse and Countdown supermarket and all that sort of thing. So life wise, I mean look at that for a bit of airport scenery. As Philip makes his way in. We're in the international terminal, Philip. Vacate drift as well, threw it all in for us, didn't he? There we go folks, he's parking up. There's much more to explore with the Flightbeam Auckland scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I really recommend you do purchase it and go check it all out. There's little bits of terminal interiors to go and explore. Some beautiful PBR detailing across the entire airport itself as well. As you can see, lots of detail included for the price. The links for it are in the description for today's stream as well. If you guys want to do get your hands on it. And AIG, keep your eye out for that too. I'm going to be dropping a tutorial on how to use their installer and everything else in the very near future. Thanks as always to those of you who flew along with us. I hope you guys enjoyed it as we catch Phillips taxiing in down in the background over there. Join us on Sunday. No stream tomorrow because I've been called in to work last minute, but join us on Sunday. We're going to be back in the Aerosoft CRJ, the 700 variant, for some real IBEX ANA Connect flights from Sendai in Japan down to Hiroshima and back again with some beautiful freeware scenery. And again we're going to be using the AIG public beta for the model matching once we've done a few more tweaks and improved the VMR a little bit more. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you again to Slively for your super chats, and Alec Broadbent as well for your super chat, and Momo for your Streamlabs tip too. Thank you to all of our bronze, silver, gold frequent flyers for supporting the stream with your channel memberships, and those of you who watch all the time wherever you are in the world. If you've not done so already, smash that subscribe button down below. Once I put my teeth in, smash the subscribe button down below. Give us a little like as well before you head off, and I hope to see you all tune in on Sunday. As always, thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the weekend ahead. See you soon. Take care.